morning, everybody. Welcome back to a new video. Brand new week at Oxford. We're nearing the end of term now. It's 7th week. So Oxford goes on 8-week cycles. This week's gonna be a little bit different because a lot of my classes are kind of winding down. Well, one. Because I have my one class, the paleography course, that goes into Hillary. So we just continue to have classes through to the end of term. But my English class, no more in-class hours. It's just kind of the essay. So we're gonna have meetings this week with our professor to kind of talk over our like rough draft that we'd sent her last week. So yeah, I want to keep adding to that ahead of and just after the meeting because I want it to be like done, and hopefully I'll be able to send her like a completed draft before the end of the week, because basically she was like, send me what you have, add little jot notes at the end for like where you're gonna take it. So that's kind of what I did last week, but I'd like to my goal is to have a full draft done by the end of the week, regardless of if I can send it to her, because basically the English faculty is kind of weird. Past 7th week, you're like not allowed to speak to the professor at all about the assignment and the courses. I don't really know why, other than just to like leave them alone. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing this week. And then we also, at Pembroke, we have the Xmas banquet on Friday, which is going to be really fun. So it's like once a term we have a big MCR banquet, and so for Michaelmas it's always like a Christmas banquet because it's the last week of, or it's in 7th week of term nearing the holidays. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. I think it should be quite fun. But yeah, I'm also hoping to get to the Christmas market on Broad Street sometime this week. And yeah, it's just going to be a good week, I think. But today I'm very excited because I've got one of those like stamper cards, and I'm at my free coffee at the Independent Cafe. Very excited about it. So I'm gonna go there, get a coffee, and then I think just go to the MCR and do some work. Good morning, guys. So it is the next day now. Anika and I went and got burritos and then went to the Maudlin movie night. And it was Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I'd never seen before, and I know it's like a classic sci-fi or whatever. I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it, but it's not one that I think I'll feel the need to watch again. It's literally just 2.5 hours of this man who is willing to do literally anything to avoid spending time with his family. That's all it is. And one of the first scenes where this little brat of a 3 or 4-year-old is like runs out of the house in the middle of the night. The mom wakes up, looks out the window, sees her child like standing on the edge of the woods, like looking up at her and laughing, and then he runs into the forest and she's just like, ugh. And then it cuts to a shot of her like slowly walking through the forest, calling out for a kid. She's very unbothered by the fact that her small toddler baby has like taken off into the jungle. I'm like, this was written by a man. It was written by a man. I prefer The Fabelmans, which is his other original script. Yeah, it was interesting. And I feel like it would have been better if they'd kept doing the Jaws method where you don't see the aliens at all. Because at the end it kind of like, obviously, special effects have come a long way, but it kind of like takes away from the mystery of the story, I think. Especially because they're so like, they look like how an alien would look in a cartoon. There's like the big head, green eyes, or big eyes that look like they might have been green. Like, it's very that, but some really cool visuals and stuff, so I appreciated it for that. But yeah, probably not one that I will watch again, but it was fun to go to. It's like a cool event that they put on. But yeah, today I'm gonna head to my paleography class. I'm not sure what the medieval English research seminar, what the topic is afterwards, but I'm gonna look it up and then might go to that, might not, we'll see. I've gotten here quite early, so I'm just gonna do, the class was empty, so I just came in. I'm gonna do some emails and maybe like read a couple things. Hi guys, so yesterday was a bit boring after class, so not too much exciting stuff happened. But today I'm just heading off to the exam schools because my course is having sort of a session on PhD applications. I think literally the course director that's running it was like, I don't know how useful this is gonna be, but we'll do it, when she was speaking to someone. So I guess my expectations aren't that high for it, but I mean, more information is always good, so just go and like hear what they have to say about it. I think often, like, we did one with someone who's kind of at the end of his PhD that's like helping on our course, and it was very much like tailored pretty much just to Oxford, definitely to UK schools in general, so that's kind of what I'm expecting from this, which will be helpful, and yeah, so not bad, but yeah. I think American schools are a bit different. A lot of them require, like, whereas UK schools I think will usually just require like a statement of purpose, which is more of a research proposal. American schools a lot of them will require that as well as a personal statement, which is more of like, you know, what you see in movies about applying to American colleges, where it's more like, here is some details about my life, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I think at PhD level it's kind of more like, here's how I would contribute to the community to an extent. Obviously, like, things are different for every program that you're applying to, but yeah, so I'm gonna do that and then head to transcription class, and then I have a meeting with my professor about my Beowulf essay this afternoon. So yeah, that's kind of my day there. Hello again, guys. So I had a meeting this afternoon with my professor that I just got back from about my Beowulf essay, and I think basically after what we discussed, I think I'm going to change the framing of it a bit, like not completely starting over. All the work that I've done so far is like good and usable, but I think I'm gonna base it more like explicitly or more directly around Maria Dvana Headley's translation of Beowulf, specifically just to kind of give it a bit more like definition, to have more of like a through argument for what I'm saying. And I think that this is also like a bit more new and interesting versus kind of what I'd had my main focus on before. So yeah, all of the stuff that I've done is usable. Like, I'm not completely starting over, but just sort of like narrowing the focus down a little bit more. So I'm excited about that, especially because this is like, I find that this sort of like different direction a bit more exciting because this is quite a new edition. I think it was 2023 maybe? Let me check. Okay, yeah, so this was 2020, and she's also written, like I said in a previous video, a dystopian adaptation called The Meerwife, and yeah, so I think this is just quite interesting. It's like explicitly meant to be more of like a feminist translation, and the thing that this one really got press for was that she explicitly genders the dragon. In the end, she makes her female, which, as I discovered, actually does have some basis in Beowulf literary criticism, but a lot of translations make it more, don't necessarily gender it, and it just really changes the context of that final episode and of Beowulf's death and the response to Beowulf's death at the end. So for tonight, I'm just gonna kind of go through and pay a bit more attention to like the Modrith, I'm bad with the name pronunciation, that episode, Wealhtheow's speech, kind of those like key moments for the women in the play, because that's my main focus, and seeing how she handles that. I'm also about how she handles the fact that Beowulf does not have a wife in this, very notably. So yeah, that's kind of my plan for this evening. But yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, then earlier today I had my transcription class, and even earlier than that I had my, we had like a session about PhDs applications, which honestly, like, it wasn't really anything I didn't already know. It was kind of just like space for us to ask questions, I guess, but everything we went over, I was like, this is kind of something that we've discussed already, but it was nice because it had the opportunity to have her like read over one of my kind of sections, and she really only told me to like maybe add one thing, so that was good, or reassuring, I guess. So yeah, but it's also overnight the river just flooded everything. So I think I showed like the cows field over at Christchurch yesterday, completely fine. Today almost entirely submerged, so I'm assuming they're gonna move them, because I did that last year, like when the river flooded that area, and even after it had receded, the cows weren't in there for most of the winter, so I assume they're gonna move them again. But apparently the Maudlin accommodation is like ankle deep in water. I think it maybe floods every year, so sucks for them, I guess. It's gotten very close to the windows of people at Gap here. I mean, I'm not on the ground floor, so I should be okay. If it gets up to me, we have a problem. But I think that they build it with like some like flooding protection in, hopefully. But yeah, that was interesting, and I think was causing some problems for people today. But yeah, I'm just going to get started on this kind of stuff. Also, just wanted to clarify something. I think I said either in this video or the previous one that I thought she was maybe the first woman to have ever published a full translation of Beowulf, but she's not. A few women have published full translations. Certainly more men have, but she's not the first woman to do so. I think I just gotten it like mixed up with Emily Wilson's The Odyssey and the Iliad, because they're talked about a lot, partly because I think partly because they came out fairly close together and are sort of doing similar things, but in very different ways. They have very different like approaches to translation. But yeah, I think they get mentioned a lot. And actually, it sparked me to look it up again because I reread the introduction to this, or no, I reread in the acknowledgements. She mentioned speaking to Emily Wilson about translation and about doing translations while she was toying around with writing this, or while she was in the process of doing this. So yeah, that was just me fact-checking myself. Hello again, everybody. So I got to a rough start this morning because we had 3 fire alarms go off at 3 a.m. So we had one that was really long, and like everybody went outside, and then it kept going on and on and on. And then finally we got back in. I'd gotten back into bed. As soon as I shut the light off, the alarm went again. So I got up, left. As we hit the stairs, it shut off, came back, got back into bed. It went off again. Also really short that time, but yeah. Don't know what it was, if it was someone's shower, or I think I heard her say that it might have been like an aerosol or something, so that's fun. But yeah, I've been doing some stuff around home this morning, but I think I'm gonna head to Pembroke. I'm going to go either to the library there or just to the MCR, because I have a couple books from Pembroke that I've just been like holding on to for no real reason, so I'm gonna return those and do some work there. And then this afternoon, it's kind of cool because the Oxford Union is doing sort of like an Inklings talk. I don't totally know what the main topic of the seminar is, but I think Anika and I are going to try to go to that, so hopefully that will be fun. And then, I don't know, maybe like go through the Christmas market after or something. That could be cool. I feel like I saw that they had toffee apples, which her and I discussed, so I'm very excited about that. So maybe check that out. Everybody, so it's the next day now, and I was wrong. So I got my things mixed up last night It was actually a talk by Philip Pullman at the Union. So he wrote The Golden Compass and His Dark Materials. So he did a reading of, he kind of, I don't know if he like did translations, but he helped write a new edition of Grimm's fairy tales. So he read one of the stories that was in that edition. So he did like a reading, and then they did sort of a Q&A with him. So it was really interesting. He was very funny. So I really enjoyed that. I'd gotten it mixed up because when I first learned about it, I'd heard about this event at the Lamb and Flag pub called Drinking with the Inklings. So basically that one and the Eagle and Child are like quite famously one of the pubs where the Inklings would go to meet. So it's like Tolkien and C.S. Lewis and other people. They're probably the two most famous ones. It was like a writers group, and they just go and have their meetings there. And so the pub was doing like, you could go into the back room, and then I don't know if they were like talks or if it was just like a meet and mingle kind of event sort of thing. So they were doing that at Lamb and Flag. So I'd sent that to Anika and was like, would you be interested in going to this? And then she'd sent, oh, it's the same night as this event at the Union. Do you want to come to that? So I think I'd like equated them both as being about the Inklings, but they're not. So yeah, we went to the Philip Pullman talk, which was really, really cool. And yeah, and then we went and we looked at the Christmas market because we were going to maybe get some food there, but there's actually not that many food options. They do have like a Yorkshire pudding wrap, which it's basically just like a roast but in a wrap, wrapped in a wrap, but the wrap is a big Yorkshire pudding, which does look quite good. So we were both like, we'll come back and try this another time. But we just went to Nando's instead for dinner. So yeah, that was good. And today is the day of the Xmas banquet. So it's gonna be nice to have that done. And I think it should be a very fun evening. So I'm going to go to college right now, partly because I need to like find the grace for the person doing the grace. And yeah, get some work done this morning before coming back to get ready for the banquet. Hello again, guys. So I'm all ready for the banquet, as you can see. I just went and worked at the MCR during the day, and it was really, really good. I got done everything that I wanted to get done today in good time. So that was a win. And now I'm all dressed up for banquet because me, Chloe, and May, and then my friend Yago is coming as a guest. So we're heading early to just kind of like make sure that everything is set up in hall. And then we're doing a drinks reception, like with Prosecco and stuff before dinner in the hall. So yeah, but this is what I decided to wear. I call this my leprechaun shirt. And then this skirt has been very good to me. I got it in like grade 10, I think, and I just love it. So glad to have the opportunity to wear it, and I thought that this was like vaguely Christmassy. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm gonna wear my boots to walk there, and because we do an after party in a club, so I brought boots, or I'm gonna wear boots. But at college, I'm going to change into these for the banquet because these shoes are the love of my life. They are my pride and joy. These are my Sarah Jessica Parker heels that I got when I graduated from university undergrad, and I am deeply in love with them. So yeah, I take any opportunity to wear those that I can. So gonna wear them tonight. And yeah, gonna head to hall and get started with Xmas. Everybody, so it's the next day now after the banquet. I'm not gonna lie, it was quite tough to get out of bed this morning, but I managed it. Banquet went very smoothly. It felt very good to have that done. As a social sec team, really the day of, there isn't that much for us to do because the hall staff really runs everything because it's a dinner, but still. And we did like the speeches and the toasts and everything. So that was all really fun and went well. And the after party too, I think last year it was like kind of hit or miss. Like a couple of them were definitely better than others, so I wasn't really sure what to expect from the after party this year, but a lot of people went and seemed to be having a really good time, so that was awesome. And yeah, happy that it's done and that it went well. But today Anika and I are going to go to the Christmas market finally and try like the Yorkshire pudding wraps, get a toffee apple, maybe go on the carousel. So yeah, it should be a fun afternoon. So it is the next day now. The Christmas market was really fun yesterday. I would recommend the Yorkshire pudding wraps. They were not quite as like filling or like heavy as you might expect, because I guess like Yorkshire puddings are pretty like, they're not as dense as you might think, but they were really, really good. And they didn't actually have toffee apples, but they had chocolate covered apples, so those were good. And then yeah, I came back here, I stayed up late to watch the Supreme show at Eggerbition, like a cattle show, because my family had a cow in it, so that was cool. Stayed up late and watched that, and now today I'm going to head to college to do some work, and then I'm also putting stuff out for second dessert this evening, so yeah, I'm gonna go do that. Okay, so I'm back now from college and from our last second dessert of term, which was really fun. Had a good showing. Not a lot of people that were super hungry because I think a bunch of them had done like a Friendsgiving. Though I don't know that many of them are actually American that were taking part, but yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of leftovers tomorrow. But it was a fun time. And then I have this from my mailbox because the Pembroke Library, and I actually think a lot of Oxford libraries do this over the Christmas break. They'll like send a form, and if you want to, you can like fill it out for like a mystery book that the library staff will pick out for you. So you can put like what genre you'd like, and then they have a box for if you have like any other sort of like things that you'd like to have. So it's in such cute wrapping paper. This is like dog tape, very cute. So I'm gonna open it up and see what I got. It's Terry Pratchett. And last year they gave you chocolate, but this time they gave some tea, so it's Lady Grey, light and zesty. I've never had this, I don't think. Brew for 2 to 3 minutes for a ladylike cup. If you like a bit more zest. Nice. And then yeah, they give like a little card. So they said this is one of my all-time favorites and has just been made at Penguin Classic. Hope you enjoy. Happy reading, Laura. And then it's like a cute little card. If a triangle could speak, it would say that God is eminently triangular. And then the book that I got is Night Watch by Terry Pratchett. So I have never read this before, and I don't think I've ever actually read any Terry Pratchett, so this will be good. Hopefully I'll have time to read it over the break. But yeah, I think that's just like a really cute thing that they do, so really happy to take part in that. Last year I did get a book, but I didn't have time to read it over the break, but I still like doing it. So yeah, that's nice. And that is the end of my week here, so I think I'm just going to finish up a couple things and then go to bed. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.